The Honduran capital, Tegucigalpa, is used to demonstrations. Since the 2009 coup d'etat, the reasons for protests have increased with the deepening of the extractivist neoliberal model that the most conservative political class develops hand in hand with the military forces.
Por eso estamos aquí hoy para exigirle.
That is why we are here, to say that we don't want mining concessions in our rivers. We don't want hydroelectric dams in our rivers. We don't want our mountains and our biodiversity to be threatened with all the government's extractive policies.
After the demonstrations and the protest actions in the capital, the people returned to the regions where repression and persecution are permanent and every day more violent.
We, the campesinos in this country, live with a foot inside jail and the other one out.
Criminalization of protests has always existed in the country. There have always been governments that respond to protests with violence. Using the state's repressive structures, they also use other more subtle ways through existing powers like the Attorney General's office and the Supreme Court to take those accused of crimes such as sedition and illicit demonstrations to court.
On March 3, 2016, the world turned its eyes to Honduras after the assassination of indigenous leader Berta Cáceres, who defended the Hualcarque River, sacred space of the Lenca people. Cáceres permanently denounced the persecution and criminalization that all of the people of Honduras are suffering. According to the Committee of Relatives of Detained and Disappeared of Honduras, COFADE, in 7 years, over 5,000 people have been charged in courts for defending their territories, and more than 200 activists have been killed with impunity.
En la práctica, las violaciones de derechos humanos cada día son más lamentables.
In reality, the human rights violations are more regretful every day. They can't fool me or COFADE that the deaths have been reduced. They cook the books, and that is part of a dictatorship to change the figures. Just take a look at what happened last year in the community of San José La Paz. There, 20 indigenous people were murdered, and that hasn't been reflected in any of the statistics.
Indígenas que fueron muertos, y eso no se reflejan en ninguna estadística.
On past May 9th of this year, another Honduran woman won the international acknowledgement for her struggle. Ana Miriam Romero of the indigenous Lenca movement of La Paz, Milpa, received the prize Frontline Defenders. The alarms are on for Romero to guarantee her life and the success of the struggle of her people that are fighting to get out of the rivers the hydroelectric projects as Aurora Uno, that is developed by the Aurora Inversiones S.A. company, owned by Gladys Aurora Lopez, president of the National Party and currently the vice president of the National Congress. The resistance in Honduras continues growing, and until now it has achieved that only the 5% of the 397 concessions given by the government in these years are in exploitation. Gerardo Torres, Telesur, Honduras.